What if I told you that some farmers can grow 2 to 3 times more food per square foot while using less water, fewer tools, and almost no chemicals? Research on small-scale traditional farming systems shows that diversified gardens often outperform large industrial farms when it comes to yield per area, especially when techniques like mulching, intercropping, and composting are used. And yet, there's a group of people who have been doing this for over 200 years without modern technology, synthetic fertilizers, or automation. No shortcuts. Just simple methods that quietly produce massive harvests year after year. These aren't trendy hacks you see online. These are time-tested systems built on efficiency, observation, and working with nature instead of against it. And the best part is, you can start applying most of these today, even in a small backyard. The first trick is something you'll notice immediately if you ever walk through an Amish garden, and it's a masterclass in efficiency. They don't spend hundreds of dollars or waste precious hours building expensive, permanent raised beds out of wood or stone. Instead, they simply shape the earth itself into long, slightly elevated rows. By mounding the dirt this way, they create a specialized microclimate for their seeds. This simple geometry improves drainage during heavy rains and allows the morning sun to warm the soil much faster than flat ground, giving the plants a crucial head start in the spring. Because the soil isn't being compacted by foot traffic, it stays light and airy, making planting and harvesting almost effortless. The second technique is arguably the most powerful tool in the Amish gardening kit, and it's one that most modern gardeners overlook: heavy mulching. Amish gardeners treat the bare earth like a sensitive living thing, keeping it tucked under thick protective layers of straw, fallen leaves, or grass clippings. This single habit is a total game changer for the workload. It acts as a thermal blanket, reducing water evaporation by as much as 70%. At the same time, it creates a physical barrier that almost completely suppresses weed growth before it even starts. That translates to significantly less time spent hauling hoses and back-breaking hours spent pulling weeds. Instead, you're left with cooler, damp soil that actually grows richer and more fertile with every passing season as the mulch breaks down. The third trick is the ancient art of companion planting. Instead of growing crops in isolated, sterile rows, Amish gardens are designed to function more like vibrant, natural ecosystems. A classic example you've likely heard of is the Three Sisters method, a brilliant synergy where corn, beans, and squash are planted in the same space. In this living puzzle, each plant has a specific job to do. The corn grows tall and sturdy, providing a natural trellis for the beans to climb. In return, the beans act as a biological fertilizer factory, pulling nitrogen from the air and pumping it back into the soil to feed their neighbors. Meanwhile, the large prickly leaves of the squash spread across the ground like a living carpet, shading the soil to retain moisture and acting as a natural deterrent for weeds and pests. Everything works in a beautiful, closed-loop harmony, significantly reducing the need for chemical fertilizers while boosting the overall productivity of every square foot. The fourth method is a long-term strategy that most modern gardeners have completely forgotten: the practice of saving seeds from only the best-performing plants. Amish gardeners don't just harvest for food, they harvest for the future. Each season, they carefully observe their garden to identify the strongest, healthiest, and most flavorful specimens. By saving seeds from these winners, they are essentially conducting a slow, natural form of crop improvement. Over the years, this creates a lineage of plants that are uniquely resilient and perfectly adapted to the specific soil and climate of their own backyard. It's like building a custom-tailored strain of crops designed specifically to thrive in your environment. Not only does this make the garden more productive every year, but it also provides true food independence, as you're no longer reliant on buying new seeds from a store every spring. The fifth technique involves planting densely, but doing so with a very specific strategy in mind. In many modern gardens, you'll see wide gaps of bare dirt between plants, but the Amish know that bare soil is an invitation for trouble. Instead, they space their crops just close enough so that as they mature, their leaves begin to touch and overlap, forming a lush, natural canopy over the earth. This living mulch creates a shaded microenvironment at the base of the plants, which locks in moisture and prevents the sun from baking the ground hard. Because there's no sunlight reaching the soil surface, weed seeds never get the chance to germinate. The end result is a high-yield intensive garden that produces significantly more food in the same amount of space, all while requiring a fraction of the maintenance a traditional row garden would demand. The sixth principle is a return to simplicity when it comes to the tools of the trade. While modern gardening aisles are packed with gas-powered tillers and complex gadgets, Amish gardeners rely on durable, time-tested hand tools like hoes, broadforks, and manual seeders. At first glance, this might seem like a step backward in efficiency, but there is a hidden logic to it. By skipping the heavy machinery, you eliminate the time spent on maintenance, the rising cost of fuel, and the inevitable frustration of mechanical breakdowns in the middle of planting window. Hand tools allow for a much more intimate connection with the soil. You can feel the tilth and moisture levels in a way a machine never could. In the long run, it creates a smoother, more reliable workflow that doesn't depend on a repair shop to keep the garden growing. The seventh trick is the disciplined practice of crop rotation. In an Amish garden, you'll almost never see the same vegetable planted in the exact same spot 2 years in a row. They understand that every plant has a different appetite. Some heavy hitters, like corn, strip the soil of nitrogen, while others, like peas, actually give it back. By rotating crops through different sections of the garden, they prevent the soil's nutrient bank from being depleted. But perhaps more importantly, this movement breaks the life cycle of pests and soil-borne diseases. If a specific beetle or fungus is waiting in the dirt for your tomatoes to return, and they find onions or beans there instead, the cycle is broken. It's a simple, low-tech system that keeps the land healthy and productive without ever needing a drop of chemical pesticide. The eighth method is a masterclass in plant psychology: deep, infrequent watering. Many gardeners make the mistake of giving their plants a light sprinkling every single day, which actually keeps roots shallow and weak. Amish gardeners do the opposite. They soak the ground thoroughly and then leave the soil alone for long stretches of time. This tough love approach forces the plant's roots to dive deep into the earth in search of moisture. As those roots stretch downward, the plant becomes naturally drought-resistant and far less dependent on constant human intervention. It's a strategy that saves you hours of chores during the heat of the summer, while producing rugged, resilient crops that can survive even when the rain stops falling. The ninth practice is centered on the idea that in nature, nothing is ever truly waste. In an Amish household, everything is recycled back into the earth. Kitchen scraps, garden trimmings, and well-aged manure are all meticulously layered into compost piles to break down into black gold. This closed-loop system means they never have to pull out a credit card for synthetic fertilizers or bagged soil amendments. This rich homemade compost does more than just feed the plants. It physically transforms the soil, improving its structure so it can hold more water and breathe more easily. It's the ultimate form of sustainable wealth, built entirely from the leftovers of the previous season. The 10th and final trick is a shift in mindset, focusing on crops that actually put a significant amount of food on the table. While it's tempting to grow exotic or purely ornamental plants, Amish gardeners prioritize high-yield, reliable workhorses like potatoes, beans, squash, and cabbage. These specific crops are chosen because they offer the highest caloric ROI, providing the most food per square meter of dirt. Beyond just the harvest, these varieties are selected for their storage potential. They are the kinds of vegetables that can sit in a cellar or be preserved to feed a family all through the winter months. It's a practical, no-nonsense approach to gardening where every seed planted is an investment in long-term food security. So hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video from Gardening Discovery.